YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Benji, and we back with the crew. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. Hey man, it's about that time, man. A lot of people trying to switch it up. They're trying to line everything up in order for Valentine's Day. And we just recently did a video talking about Nala, who's a recent OnlyFans model who has tried to let us know that she has recently transitioned and has claiming a life with Christ. I don't think anything is wrong with that, but we're starting to see a lot of patterns coming from a lot of these women who are Instagram models or OnlyFans models or actresses starting to convert to religion. Don't think that's wrong. Having a higher power that will guide you and learn and gaining wisdom and turning away these ways that are honestly just detrimental to society. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think a lot of people are pushing back on a lot of these women or people in general simply because they feel like it's disingenuous. Now, what are we talking about? Let's look at this example right here, man. This is Alexis Sky. I'm pretty sure was on OnlyFans for a while, but she's like an OnlyFans model. She, I think, originally blew up in the entertainment industry because of who she was linked to. I think she was Fetty Wap's baby mama, and that's kind of what brought her to the light, at least in my eyes. But she mentioned that she faked converting to Christianity. We gotta see this.
Let me get my thoughts together.
Yeah.
What can you repeat that?
Yeah. How heavy has it been for people trying to critique? Is this real? Is this for show?
It was never fake. My encounter with God was real.
Yeah.
I was just really just in a space where I was dating somebody, and I'm not gonna say any names, and I'm thankful for this person because it was never that I never believed in God. I just wasn't really close to him, and it was somebody that was in my life that had an influence, and I was so focused on being a wife and being loved on and being wanted that I was just like, okay, well, I have to change who I am in order for this person to accept me.
Yeah.
And I was more so focused on that versus my walk with God. I was doing it more for what that person wanted.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, maybe if I change my image on Instagram or I change how I am, then I'll be his wife or I'll do this. So it was more so like, okay, Alexis, are you ready for this? But I really wasn't ready,
Yeah.
And it's not saying that I wasn't ready to walk with God. It's just I wasn't doing it the right way. I was more so doing it for somebody else. And so it just happened overnight. So next thing you know, I'm on the internet telling the world, like, I stopped doing this, I stopped doing that, I stopped doing that. But this is who Alexis really was.
Yeah.
And I was changing myself for somebody else and not for
Wow.
me.
That's
And that
powerful.
person had a major impact, and I don't regret it because that was what was supposed to happen. But just coming from, I used to dance.
Yeah.
I've been in trafficking, and just the lifestyle that I've came from. That's all I know. So
Yeah.
people can't fault me for being on the internet, showing this or doing this or having an OnlyFans or doing that because that's all I was taught. I never went to college.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like to have a degree. Um, so my life is make fast money,
Yes.
so that's all I know how to go back to. And even during my journey, it was almost like, okay, I'm here. I started thinking of other ways I can make money in
Yes.
the right way. So I came out with a journal, and they were saying I'm profiting from God. And I'm like,
Yes.
this doesn't make no sense.
Right.
So a lot to unpack right there. I mean, she just gave us a whole bunch of information, bro, that I really didn't even know anything about. I wasn't prepared for it myself. Hey, but yes, I forgot. That's right. She used to be a dancer. So she did a lot. I didn't know about the trap. That's a lot, and I'm sure that's gonna be a huge toll on someone mentally. But I think that's where a lot of that stems from. You profited off of your looks. You profited off your body, and I think a lot of people look at it as with a little bit of contempt because it's almost like you went and chose the lowest path in order for you to garner some money. You know what I mean? Uh, I think that's where a lot of people are upset about it. And then after you get to a point of following, money, influence, you then want to quick switch and jump into another lane because this is your way or your opportunity to get out of the industry that you're in. And they jump into religion because most of the time you're not going to criticize someone who is going through a religious transformation. And so they're able to obfuscate criticism by jumping into religion. And I think the issue is that people then jump into religion and we see the unfolding of that transformation. And people are concerned whether or not it's genuine or not because, like she says, you were doing all these things that I think even outside of religion, a lot of people would view as like bottom tier behavior. And I understand some people just end up in scenarios that they didn't quite ask for. But that's how you profited individually. And that's how you marketed yourself. That's how you branded yourself. So that'd be like if I became a basketball player, then out of nowhere I said I hate basketball. People would say, wait a minute, what happened? That's kind of like what happens here. You profited off your body and then you decided to say, that actually has nothing to do with me anymore. But I'm going to try to hear it out a little bit. I'm sorry, the video might be a little too loud too.
How am I profiting from God when I just gave up thousands of dollars that I was making per month, hundreds of thousands, to literally surrender to Him? And, you know, as each day got on, I'm like, okay, whether I was doing this for this man, I actually was like getting closer and
you were doing it for a man, so you weren't even doing it out of your own volition.
Closer. So even though I was doing it for Him, I was getting closer to God, and everything was starting to like make sense to me. I started understanding like this is who I'm supposed to be. I have a calling on my life to help women like me, help women that come from battered situations or that are in the nightlife that think that they're not worthy enough to be this. This is what God wants me to be, a vessel to these women. But it's not helping when I have 5.6 million followers attacking me. Everything I do, it's like, oh, this is not godly enough, or you're not a Christian. So I'm like, okay, this is like not making no sense. I might as well go back to doing what I was doing because.
Oh my gosh! See, that's why people don't view it to be genuine. Like anyone who lived a life that was completely antithetical to the life that you're looking to head toward, there's going to be a lot of critics. And particularly, like she said, you had 5.6 million followers. How did you get those followers? This is what these people are following you for. This is how you've branded yourself. You're switching it up. A lot of people aren't going to believe it's real. Because now they're going to critique you based on this new purview.
Right.
Do y'all like me doing this or not? So at this point, it just became a confusion. Like, nothing was good enough for the internet. Nothing was good enough for him. He ended up leaving me in the midst of me changing. And I'm like, you promised to stay here and have my back financially because you know I'm giving up everything. And he left me. So I'm like, it was more so I was like in fear. Like, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to continue to live this lifestyle that I was living, you know? Let me get my thoughts together.
Yeah.
That is crazy work. I understand this is probably a vulnerable position for her to speak from. Bro, but that's crazy work. You really just wanted to become a wife because I was thinking that maybe this caption was incorrect. That's basically what she's saying. She only presented herself to be someone online because she was looking to garner this ring and bills paid by this man. And he may be, at the end of the day, if he was one closest to you and he didn't, and he saw through it and left you, why do you think the internet is going to, at the same expense, respect that?
What, can you repeat that?
Yeah. How heavy has it been for people trying to critique? Is this real? Is this for show?
It was never fake.
At least she was honest. I would have taken that one to the grave. Yeah, that was kind of crazy. She was see-through in her motives, so even if she tried to keep it to herself, the audience could see through that it wasn't authentic. If there was a seed planted in her for one day to really water for God, then this is even a beautiful thing. Hey, that's the other thing. At least the door was opened. That's really what it is. Shorty literally just sat there and told y'all, as a grown woman, she didn't know how to pay any bills outside of a man paying it without her showing her body. A grown woman. Oh my goodness, she's slow. She's easily persuaded. No one believed her journey. She lies. Honestly, didn't even realize this journey even occurred. Another woman who recently went viral for her conversion was Brittany Renner. She completely altered her appearance. She has apparently thrown away all of her clothes that were not pleasing to God and to the lifestyle that she was looking to head into. She now does like brand deals and everything on Instagram, more so promoting modesty. And so she recently has been providing catch-up information for us.
First of all, Allahu Akbar. When I originally joined Instagram July of 2012, I joined for two reasons: validation and male attention. And now that I no longer need either of those things, I am developing a new relationship with just social media itself. So my posting has been a bit inconsistent. I've been Muslim for 5 months and I love it here. Haven't had a drink in 6 months. Haven't had sex in 8 months. And I changed my number 4 months ago. So if you went green, now you know why. This has been a really beautiful purification process for me of the mind, heart, body, and soul, and an opportunity for me to meet myself deeper. What I have discovered is how deserving I have always been and am. Even with wearing the hijab, trusting so much so, and who is meant to see me will see me for the right reasons. I have been filming the last few months. If you know, you know. Calm seas never made a skilled sailor, so I have been having fun, sharpening my sword and learning along the way. I feel free. Like, I do not belong to this world. This world did not give me my joy, and it can't take it either. And alhamdulillah for that. I just love it. I show you a lot of updates, and I hope all is well.
Y'all wild on Instagram. Bro, look at this. You gotta have some nice comments, of course. Calm seas never made a skilled sailor. This has been a beautiful journey to witness. I don't mean to take away from beautiful transformation, but I heard once that about final stage is a religious woman. You can't unhear that. I became a full-time Hijabi October, and I never looked back. So I'm taking your life and make you look at everything. I mean, everything. Don't take that book off the bio. Wait. I'm gonna get off that page, but if you didn't know, Brittany Renner did make a book that continued to excel or accelerate her climb to fame, which in the book she detailed many experiences that she had with a lot of well-off individuals and the fallouts of these relationships and the sexual escapades that she went through. And I guess it's, I mean, there's some literary excellence to it because it's about looking past the cover in order to try to determine what it's about. And like I said, she mentioned she's been on Instagram for quite some time, right? 13 years. Her ascension through fame has been due to her connection to multiple men in the industry, and she herself has even admitted to that. She has a whole book detailing her experiences with multiple men in the industry and how she used those opportunities to jump from one opportunity to the next. Now, granted, can this woman be saved? Absolutely. Should we be happy for her? Absolutely. Is she spreading a positive message? Cool. Great. Thankful. A lot of people just don't find it to be genuine because what have you spewed out for the last X amount of time? And it seems almost antithetical to the great books because you lived life a certain way, knowing that, okay, in the back of my head, I have an opportunity to regress. And I can just do this and throw it all away and act like it never happened. What do y'all think? Granted, she made plenty of content that was letting these women know, be free, be liberal with your body, go do this, go do that, hide your daddies, hide your boys. She did a lot of that content. She did, in all due respect to her, in the last few years, make it a point to mention that she feels like she's been making a jump forward in a positive direction.
How I allowed myself to just be like used up by men. And that came from a lack of self-worth. I did not understand my value that I was born with. I didn't. And I gave, again, people look at sex differently, but sex is spiritual unification. At the end of the day, I don't care how you spin it. It's spiritual.
For women.
Okay, yeah, for
women,
whatever.
yeah.
Okay, fine, for women. It's spiritual unification. And people that I shared my body with, when I think about my list, it's repulsive because they didn't deserve it. But that was an outcome of me discounting my worth. And it's disgusting. I hate even having that spiritual tie in any type of way. But yeah, I would absolutely change sexually how I move around. And not even necessarily because of like the societal outcome. It's more so how I allow.
Less than 7 months ago, she was on a podcast with other women discussing whether or not they believed that people, particularly athletes, that they'd either been with or could just call the name on. And basically they said, yeah, well, these dudes pay. I mean, I'm trying to keep it as PG as possible. But look, that's what they did. I mean, look at the type of comment and look at the sharing their crazy DM. Like, again, I am not God. It is not my place to condemn or anything like that. Now, can I make judgments based on what we've seen about who you presented yourself to be? Sure. At the end of the day, a judgment's going to be made about me. Sure. I do think that it's a little dangerous because you have amassed such a large following of people by doing X. So you have branded yourself. You have completely tied yourself to this thing. And then have tried to switch away from it. So at the end of the day, may peace head in your direction. May you learn from these experiences and grow. That's all we can ask for. But we recently been talking about Nala and whether or not this seemed like it was genuine. She just was making cooking videos where she's doing this ego face that she already mentioned is explicitly tied to her life in corn. I mean, come on, bro. I mean, y'all let me know what y'all believe about the experience. I mean, at the end of the day, all we can do is hope for the best of these women. But do you think it's responsible for you to try and convert your following to this? Or do you think it's responsible for them to at least show this for their following? Let me know in the comments below.